What is up, party people, and welcome back to another exciting WordPress tutorial. My name is Darrel Wilson. Today in this video, I'll be walking you through how to create a portfolio website with WordPress step by step. So let's be real. The first thing people usually do before they hire someone is ask to see their portfolio. You probably wouldn't hire a web designer without having access to their previous work, right? A portfolio website allows you to showcase your projects or skills and is probably the determining factor if someone hires you for your service. A portfolio website is not just a showcase of your portfolio, but it's more of a representation of yourself and your company's culture. You can let visitors know what kind of clients you're looking for to help users get a better understanding of your business. Now today is a special tutorial for all of you. Me and my team spent a few weeks putting this tutorial together, and we created not just one portfolio template, but 5 different portfolio websites with a variety of styles to accommodate all different personalities and niches. So let me give you all a quick walkthrough of our main demo and show you what we're gonna make today in this tutorial. So here's the portfolio website I'll show you how to make today in this video. In this video, we will be showing you how to import and create your portfolios with this layout. The Credo layout offers a slick and corporate style approach. It comes with a variety of sections such as a gallery images, award sections, 3 different home pages, and 4 different style portfolio pages for you to showcase your portfolios. We are gonna walk you through several different creative ways on how to properly display your portfolio. We've created several unique styles and ideas specifically for this tutorial. Once you import a template, all you need to do is change the text to your company, swap the images for yours, and you'll be ready to go in no time. This template kit was actually our most popular Elementor Pro layout, but we actually rebuilt this from the ground up using the free version of Elementor. What's even better is you can change the entire website color palette directly from the theme, and the entire website will adjust to your specific colors or fonts. We also offer other creative portfolio websites, and I'll talk more about how to use these portfolios later in the video. In this video, we'll be using free tools. We'll be using a free WordPress theme, a free starter template, and a free page builder to build your portfolio websites. We also will be using a drag and drop builder, so you don't need to have any experience with building websites. You can be a complete beginner and create a professional portfolio website. So how does that sound, party people? Good? All right. Now we're gonna build your portfolio website in 4 simple steps. In step 1, we'll get our domain and hosting. A domain is the name of your website, like jimsportfolio.com, and web hosting will host your website online 24 hours a day. In step 2, we will install a free WordPress theme and import a starter portfolio template. In step 3, we'll redesign the websites. I'll walk you through how to fully customize your websites. I'll walk you through how to adjust the images, how to adjust text, how to create new sections, and design your website for your business culture. In step 4, we will create a portfolio. There's a variety of ways on how to approach this. The page builder actually has its own portfolio elements, and I'll walk you through how to use those. However, for those of you who want to get creative, you can always custom build your portfolio page using the page builder, and I'll walk you through how to achieve this. So let's first go to step 1. Now there is a link in the description of this video. It'll take you to step 1, and that's to get your new domain and web hosting. And this is Hostinger.com. Now Hostinger.com is among one of the fastest web hosts, yet also the most affordable in the industry. Now, before we go on to the plans, here at the top, you'll see this banner with this English tab. If English is not your first language, you can actually switch to your native language right here. For example, if you speak Thai or Portuguese or Italian or Japanese, you can pick your native language and the entire website will adjust to your native language. So once you get here, let's go ahead and click on Claim Deal. This will bring you to 4 different pricing options. We have the Premium, Business, Cloud Startup, and the Cloud Professional. Now, I definitely recommend going with the Business plan. This gives you access to more visitors, and it also includes a free CDN, which will speed up your website 40% faster than the Premium options. If you find yourself with a lot more traffic later down the road, you can always upgrade to the Cloud Startup or the Cloud Professional, or it does give you access to a little bit more visitors compared to these other plans. But to get started out with, let's go ahead and select the business plan. So right here under business, I'll click on choose plan. So the next page is the cart page, and now I'll select a period for our web hosting. So right here under the arrow, I'll click on the arrow, and I definitely recommend signing up for 12 months. This will qualify you for a free domain. You'll also get a large hosting discount and a free 30-day money back guarantee for any reason whatsoever. Now on the right side, you'll see have a coupon code. Go ahead and click on this link. Now, right now, Hostinger is having their Black Friday sale, but we actually have a discount even bigger than their Black Friday sale. So we're gonna hook you up. So if you're watching this from maybe like 3 months from now or 4 months, don't worry, you will still get a large discount with our coupon code. If you enter the coupon code Darrel10 and click on apply, you'll see that the hosting discount increases. So here we have 77%. and I'll click on apply. And now it's 79%. Depending on the plan, you could save more depending on the length as well, but you do get the largest discount code available with Hostinger using our discount code. Once you put in the discount code, we'll then click on continue. On the next page, you'll go ahead and create an account. So you'll put in your email address, and then you'll put in a password for your Hostinger accounts. Once you put in these credentials, you'll then click on continue. And on the next page, you'll go ahead and fill out your billing information. So you'll put your first name, your last name, your country, and all of your billing information. I'll then click on continue. And on the next section, you'll enter in your method of payments. So you can use credit card, PayPal, Google Pay, and also Apple Pay. I'll go ahead and select card. And then I'll fill out my credit card information. Okay, so once we enter our credit card information and you'll see we have our discount applied from our coupon code, we'll then go ahead and click on submit payment. All right, so after the payment page, it'll actually redirect us to the next page. Okay, so now we're gonna walk through the Hostinger wizard. So who is this website for? Well, it's for me or my business. I'll click on next. Do you want to create or migrate a website? I want to click on create a website and click on next. So next you'll create your login credentials, and this is what you're gonna use to log into WordPress. So make sure you write this down. You'll put in your email address and then also put in a password for WordPress, and then you'll click on next. Next, they're asking us what kind of website we wanna build. We can actually click on create a blank site and skip this section. So click on create a blank site. So next you'll enter in the domain for your new website, and you get a free domain using our coupon code. So this is the domain name that people enter in the address bar when they're browsing the internet. So for example, I'll put darrelstutorial.com. After we type that in, you'll see this is our free domain and it's currently available. So you'll go ahead and select your domain here, and then you'll click on next. So next we're going to register your domain, and this is important because you're claiming ownership of this domain. So is this personal or is this a company? I'll select personal. You'll then select the country of where you registered this domain. So I'll put United States, and then I'll click on next step. And next you'll enter in your contact details. This is important because this lets people know who actually owns this domain. So if you ever want to sell your domain later or something, they're always going to look at your contact details. So go ahead and put in your first name, your last name, and your contact information. And once you're done, you'll then click on Finish Registration. So next you'll go ahead and select a server closest to your target audience. So if you're in the Americas, you'll go ahead and select United States. If you're in Europe, you'll select Germany, or if you're in South America, you'll select Brazil. This really isn't that important because you do get free CDNs with Hostinger, and that makes copies of your website and puts it on servers all around the world. So your website will still be fast regardless of your location. But in my instance, I'll go ahead and pick Arizona right here, and then I'll click on Next. So now Hostinger is going to install WordPress on our new domain. So just give this maybe like 1 or 2 minutes. And congratulations, this is now your new WordPress website. So this is Hostinger's welcome wizard where they're just saying, hey, get started with your website, and they offer some tutorials and all that cool stuff. Now, before going any further, I first want you all to check your email. So going over here to my Gmail, you're going to receive very important emails from Hostinger. The first thing that you're gonna do is verify your email address. This will make sure that you are a real person, and this will actually verify your email with Hostinger. So I'll go ahead and click on Verify Email. Okay, and this is the Hostinger dashboard, and this is where you can access the websites, you can make free business emails, and a whole lot more. We'll talk more about the Hostinger dashboard a little bit later, but let's go ahead and go back to the email. There is one more email that we also need to click on, and that's from Hostinger as well. Here, click on Inbox. You're going to want to verify your domain right here. So verify your email address to use your domain. I'll click on this, and then we'll click on Verify Email. So after you click on that link, our domain information has now been verified by Hostinger.com. So let's jump back to our WordPress dashboard. So here you'll see at the top, we have this preview domain. Now, in order to access your website and get out of preview mode, all you gotta do is type in your domain name. So type in darrelstutorial.com. And this is now your new domain where you see it's live on the internet. Now, if you ever want to log into your WordPress website, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either do this through the Hostinger dashboard. I actually do this quite often because I get very lazy and I forget passwords really easily. All you'll do is go over here to the website tab, and then you'll see your domain. and you can just click on WordPress admin, and this will log you directly into your website. And just like that, we are now logged into WordPress, and you'll see that we are now using our live domain on the internet. And if I click on visit site right here, you'll go ahead and see a copy of our websites. So next, let me show you all how to log into WordPress using your browser. So here you'll enter in your domain name, and then you'll enter -wp-admin, and this will bring you to the WordPress login screen. So I'll press enter. This is where you're going to enter in your credentials. You'll enter in your email and your password. So just remember, these are the credentials that you created when you installed WordPress. So I'll go ahead and click on Remember Me, and then I'll click on Login. So that's how you can log in and log out of WordPress, so you can work on your website from any location. So next, let's go ahead and talk about the WordPress dashboard. So here you'll go ahead and see a list of your pages. So if I click on all pages right here, you'll see a list of all of your pages. These are just demo pages, so you can just go ahead and delete these pages if you don't want them. Also for posts, the same thing for posts. These are a list of all of your blog posts, and you always get this cool one called Hello World, which is just an introduction to the blog, but we can go ahead and also trash this. So I'll click on trash. And that's how you can delete pages from your websites. So let's go ahead now and jump into the important WordPress options. So let's go ahead and go over here to users and click on profile. So the first thing you can do is you can go ahead and change the backend color scheme of your websites. So if you like blue or coffee or midnight, you can go ahead and select one of these colors. I do like midnights. I feel like this is easier on the eye, right? If you scroll down, you'll see this is where you can change your email. So if you ever forget your password for WordPress, it'll always be sent to this email. So make sure you have access to it. We'll go ahead and scroll down. Now, if you ever want to change your password for WordPress, you'll go ahead and click on Set New Password, and then you'll enter in a new password for WordPress right here. Once you're done with those options, we'll then click on Update Profile. Next, let's go ahead and go over here to Settings, and let's click on General. Now, the first thing is you can give your website a name. So I'm going to put Darrel's Store, right? And then you have a tagline. This is kind of like the tagline of your website. You know how Nike has Just Do It, right? You can put a tagline if you want, or you can leave it blank. You can also upload a site icon, and this appears at the top of browsers when people visit your websites. And scrolling down, you can always adjust your email address again right here. Now, for those of you who speak various languages, you can actually change the backend of WordPress to your native language. So if you speak Chinese or Russian or Dutch or Spanish, you can go ahead and select the language right here, and the entire backend will change to your native language. Once you're done with those options, we'll then scroll to the bottom and then click on Save Changes. Okay, now there's two more options that I do want to check. Let's go ahead and click on the Discussion tab right here. Now, WordPress started off as a blog, so people typically are going to leave comments on your websites, but that's really annoying. So right here, I'll click on Allow People to Submit Comments. This typically will allow people to spam your website with like Viagra pills and all sorts of crazy stuff. So make sure you uncheck that box, scroll to the bottom, and then click on Save Changes. And the very last option before we design our website is permalinks. So right here, I'll click on permalinks. Now you always want to change the permalink structure to post name. This is optimal for SEO, and it's a lot cleaner. You'll see these other links right here are really messy with the date and all this unnecessary information. Post name is actually optimal for SEO and is the best setting for your permalink structure. So go ahead and select post name, scroll to the bottom, and click on Save Changes. Okay, now let's go ahead and click on our dashboard. All right, congratulations on getting your new domain and hosting. It's really simple, right? Hostinger makes things really easy, like stupid proof, right? So in this next part of the video, we're going to install a WordPress theme, and then we're going to import a starter template on your new domain. Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, so now let's go ahead and install a WordPress theme. So over here under Appearance, let's click on Themes. At the top, we'll click on Add New Theme. So here's a few WordPress themes, and we're going to install a brand new theme with tons of demos and a lot of features. So up here under Search Themes, type in Solace, S-O-L-A-C-E. And here's the theme that we're going to use. It is called Solace. So right here, you'll click on Install, and you'll click on Activate. Okay, so once you install the theme, up here, you'll see that you have to install the Solace Extra plugin. So click on Begin Installing Plugin, and right here, you'll click on Install. All right, and then let's click on Return to Dashboard. All right, and this is the Solace theme dashboard. So this is where we can access demos, we can access the theme customizer, and all sorts of cool stuff. Now, before going any further, there is one server setting that we need to adjust. Let's go over here to our hosting or dashboard, and we're going to adjust one quick server setting. Let's click on the website tab right here, and you're gonna find your websites. So mine is Darrel Testing. So right here, I'll click on Dashboard. Now, this is one server setting you need to check in order for the imports to work properly. So on the left side, we're gonna scroll down, and here under Advanced, let's click on that. You'll click on PHP Configuration. Now, I know many people get scared when they see like PHP configurations. Don't worry, we're just gonna check one checkbox and we're good. Right here, you'll see PHP extensions. Click on this tab, scroll down, and all we're gonna do is make sure that Imagic is unchecked. That's it. This typically makes it so the import might fail because the server tends to time out. So unchecking that option will allow the imports to successfully import the starter websites. Once you're done with that check, scroll to the bottom and click on Save. We are working around a fix, so I think maybe like 2 months from now, this will like no longer be an option, so you can have it checked or unchecked. But at the time of making this video, we need to have that unchecked for a successful import. So under Starter Templates, you'll see this Start Now. Go ahead and click on Start Now. All right, and here's me. I'm like, hey, you know, welcome. Here's a WordPress tutorial, stuff like that. But let's go over here and click on Start Now. And here is a list of free starter templates. Now, me and my team, we've actually created more than 100 different layouts, and we're creating layouts every single month. And these template kits have full designer teams, so these are actually some really well-designed template kits. Now, on the left side, you'll see categories. We can actually scroll down here, and if you keep scrolling here, you're gonna see Portfolio. Go ahead and click on Portfolio. And here is a list of our portfolio kits. So you'll see that we have 7 to choose from, and we've actually catered to different types of audience because we realize everyone making a website might have different niches and industries. But to get started with, let's go ahead and use our popular Credo layouts. So right here under Credo, let's go ahead and click on this image. And here is our Credo layouts. Now, what's really cool about this layout is we actually include several different pages, and we also have several different portfolio pages as well. And you can actually navigate the website and visually look at this website before you import it. So you'll see if you scroll down, this is exactly what your website will look like. Okay. And let's go ahead and scroll back up. If you want to take a look at the other home pages, we've actually designed this for various types of businesses. So this is more for like a freelancer type landing page where you have a picture of yourself, you have a welcome message, and then below that we have some more demo content, right? And we also have homepage 3. So the third layout is more of a corporate approach. You'll see that it does have more of that corporate style approach to it. And then we finish it off with some more images and some upsells here at the bottom. So we're gonna go ahead and import this layout here. So on the left side, you'll see change color palettes. You can actually change the color palette of your entire websites. So you'll see you can change it from black or purple or green. And this will influence a lot of the other elements right here. So if we scroll down, you'll see you can actually change the color palette for the entire websites to sort of fit whatever kind of niche you're trying to accomplish. So you'll go ahead and select your color palettes. You can also change the font style here as well, where we have, you know, a few different styles depending on what you're looking for. But I do love Poppins. I'm a big fan of Poppins. Even I use that font on my website. I love it. So I'll select Poppins. Now right here, you're going to check this box. This is going to install the page builder along with all the demo content. So make sure that you do check install and activate Elementor plugin. And once you're done, you'll then click on continue. Now Solace is going to import the demo content. So leave this tab open, and this is going to import that starter template onto your new domain. So just give this like 1 minute. All right, so now the import is complete. So now let's click on check website. And just like that, you'll now see the starter templates imported on our websites. And if we scroll down, you'll see that we have some demo images here, and you can always replace this with your own. And we'll keep scrolling down. You'll see that we have this awards section where you can talk about your awards. We have some quick testimonials. Here we have just a call to action. Scrolling down here, we have some more upsells where you can talk about your partners or, you know, your focus or whatever. And scrolling down, we have our blog post. Here we have another call to action and our footer here at the bottom, which looks great. So let's go ahead now and scroll up. If you do want to access the other pages, here you'll see that we have a variety of home pages. So we have homepage 2, and here is homepage 2. And what we've done here is we've actually sort of created different styles for every single section, just really depending on you, right? but you can go ahead and use any homepage you'd want just to see if it fits for your portfolio websites. And lastly, we have the corporate style approach, which is homepage 3. And here is our corporate approach where we have everyone working together, everyone's happy, and yeah, this is more of like a corporate style environment. They're probably not that happy, you know, working with coworkers kind of sucks. I've been there. It could be either like your best friend or like a nightmare, you know. So those are the home pages. Now you can always go ahead and navigate to the other pages like the About Us page and check all these out. You'll see that we've incorporated all these different pages and we created them in a very unique style. So I think this will really work for anyone's portfolio. Now let's take a look at our portfolio pages. So over here, you'll see that we have portfolio pages. So let's take a look at portfolio gallery. So here is like a portfolio gallery where you can talk about your projects right here. And then below that, you can give some information about your project saying like, oh, we got this award. This person is located here, or whatever. Scrolling down here, we also have this really unique style where we have these 3 images where if you put your cursor over it, it kind of hovers over like that, giving it more attention for each project. Scrolling down here, you'll see that we have quite a bit. And then we have our call to action footer here at the bottom. Let's take a look at the next one. This is the portfolio creative. So here is our portfolio creative where we have a bunch of different, different projects here. Now you can always change this text or completely take it off. It's up to you. Scrolling down here, we also have some more projects and you'll see here we have some information about our projects. And then also we can back it up with our awards below our projects. So that is the portfolio creative. Let's take a look at portfolio single. So here we created more of like a masonry style, more of like an artsy approach where we have this image and then we have this one collapsing over it. And then below that, we have some information about the project where they can learn more about the project. And of course, you can link them to any page you would like. Below that, we have our design process where, we tell them how we do this or something like that. And then we finish it off with some more projects here at the bottom. All right. Now let me show you all the last portfolio that we're going to create in this video. So here's my other demo websites. You can actually access this website in the video description. And over here under portfolio, I'll click on portfolio simple. So this is our portfolio page, and this will just give you more ideas on how to present your portfolio. Here you'll see that you can actually go ahead and filter your portfolios if you want to go that route, right? And let's say, for example, you want to maybe like say, hey, I want to show you this portfolio. People can actually click on your portfolio right here, and you can actually redesign this entire page however you want. For this example, I just used one of our galleries, but you can actually custom create each specific project to cater to any type of website you want to make. So let's go back to our portfolio simple. So we'll scroll down. And here we have a collapsed portfolio. I personally made this. I think maybe people here might want this. So let's say, for example, you have these accordions right here, and if someone clicks on it, it will then open up this entire project, right? So they can get like a quick glimpse of your project, and if they want to close it, they can close it. And then here they can open up a new one, and they can get like an idea of your second project. So this is another style approach. I thought maybe you would like that. It might work for some people, it might not, but it's up to you. And below that, we also have just another gallery here where people can filter, right? Now we've also created this section here, which is really cool. We actually created this with AI. So I'll show you how to use the Elementor AI. And this is just a slideshow where you can actually just have your projects slide across. Also, notice here how every single image is perfectly shaped. This was actually done using the Elementor Custom CSS AI. So I'll walk you through how to do this as well in this video. And then scrolling down here, we just have some more upsells and just some more images and ways to showcase your projects. All right, so I hope you all like this portfolio website. As you can tell, it looks great, but let's go ahead and go back to our homepage. All right, party people, let's go ahead now and design the website using the drag and drop page builder. So in this part of the video, we'll start with the basics first. We'll just go ahead and create a new page, and I'll show you how to create columns and then drag in elements. And then after that, I'll walk you through the Flexbox. The Flexbox does have a slight learning curve, but you're gonna come to find it's like gonna be your next best friend. It makes things a lot easier. And then later on, once we talk about portfolios, I'll show you how to use the page builder to make some really creative looking portfolios for your website. So in this part of the video, we're gonna now design the website using the drag and drop page builder Elementor. Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, so now let me give you all an overview about how to use the Elementor page builder. Here at the top, you'll see Edit with Elementor. You can click on this and this will enable the page builder. You can also enable the page builder on any page by going over here to Pages and clicking on All Pages. And here's a list of all of your pages. You can always click on Edit with Elementor and this will activate the page builder for any page. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to our website. Now let's click on Edit with Elementor and this will turn on the page builder. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and close this notice, and I'm also gonna close this navigator here on the right side. So this is the Elementor page builder, and on the left side, you'll see that you have elements, and you can drag and drop these elements onto the page. You can also go ahead and click on text right here. So for example, if you wanna change this to like WordPress, and then here I'll put tutorial, and then you'll see the text changes to WordPress tutorial. Now I added this little BR right here. This is just a quick little hack on how to make the text go to the next line. Now every single element has 3 different boxes. You have the content tab. This controls the actual content for any elements. And then you have the style tab. This controls things like the color, the size of the font, and also the typography. So for example, you can change the font here to something else. So maybe you want like Tahoma, or another font. As you can see, they have tons of fonts you can go ahead and knock yourself out with. You can also adjust the size of this font, right? So you can make this font bigger or you can make it smaller, right? And then you can add in cool things like style, where you can make it italicized or oblique and stuff like that. So the style tab will actually style the elements, and then you have the advanced tab. The advanced tab typically controls like the space. So if you want to add in like space around the elements, you'll see you can add in space. You can also adjust the margin. And if we scroll down, you can add in really cool things like motion effects. So for example, here we have the slide in up. You can also change this to like ta-da, where you'll see like the text kind of like ta-da, it looks pretty cool. And we have roll in, and there's just tons of different animations you can apply for every single element. Now you can always right click on an element here, and there's also more commands. You can actually duplicate elements as well. So now you'll see that there's 2 different elements. And you can always go ahead and right click and also delete any elements you want. Now, let's say for instance, you're building your website and you made a mistake, right? Here you'll see I threw in a button here and now I totally made a mistake. You can always go over here to the Elementor tab and click on history. And then you can actually go back to any part of the website where you're building it, and this will bring it back to square one. So you'll see here now it looks normal. So if you do make mistakes, you can always go back into history and fix any problems that you have on your websites. So scrolling down here, you'll see that we can go ahead and change this text to anything we'd like. Also for these images here, you can also change this image. So to change an image, all you gotta do is click on the edit container and go to style, and this is where you can upload your images. Now there is an image module, and I will talk about that in just a little bit, but I'm just showing you how you can rearrange the images on this specific page. And scrolling down here, let's say for instance, you wanna change this image. Here, I'll click on the container. I'll go to style. And then for the image, we can just use an image from our image library. So I'll go ahead and scroll down and I'll just grab, let's just grab this green tea, I guess, right? Let's use this one. Here, I'll click on select. And then you'll see the image now displays right there. Now, if I hover over this, you're gonna see that it changes to another image. That's just because on the hover right here, we actually have a different image. So you can actually change this how it looks depending if you want people to like see a different image when they hover over it, which is really cool. If you want the same image, all you gotta do is just upload the same one for hover. And then you'll see if I hover over it, nothing changes, right? Just a little animation that we've added here in the controls. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll down. So you can go throughout the website here and adjust it to your liking. You can create your own testimonials. You can update the names here and change the images for these testimonials. Scrolling down here, you can always go ahead and adjust this text. And if you want, you can always change the background by clicking on these 6 dots right here and going to style. And this is where you can change the background for this section. But really quick, let's give you all a more concise tutorial on Elementor. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna publish this and let's practice on a brand new page. This will give you a better idea of how to use the page builder. So up here, I'll click on view page and let's create a new page and work on it, because as you can see, we have a lot going on right here and some of you might not know how we did this. So let's create a new page. Here at the top, under plus new, let's click on page. And for add title, I'll just put practice, right? We're gonna make a little practice page right here. Now under the Solace options, I do wanna hide the title. So I don't want this practice to show up on the page. And then I'll click on publish and publish. Now up here, you'll see Edit with Elementor. This will enable the page builder so you can use the page builder to design this page. So let's click on Edit with Elementor, and this will turn on the page builder. All right, so let's go ahead and practice here. So when you add a new section, you're gonna see these three icons. This is adding a new section, this is template, and this is Elementor's AI. But right here, let's click on the plus. Here we have two different layouts. We have Flexbox and Grid. Flexbox is more commonly used. It's a lot more fluid, and you can do a lot more. So let's click on Flexbox. And here we have some boxes. I'll explain more about what these directional arrows mean in just a bit, but let's just click on two boxes for now. So at the top, I'll click on Add Elements, and now let's just add an elements, right? So let's add in a heading text. You'll see that pink line, we'll drop it. And then we can change this to like, WordPress tutorial. Here I'll click on the plus. And let's say you want to add an image. Here I'll throw an image. I'll drop it here. And then we can choose an image. So let's go ahead and use these GIFs right here. Here I'll click on select. And then you'll see that we have this image, right? Now you can always go ahead and further customize the image right here with controls where you can adjust the width, the height, the opacity, and there's also CSS filters where you can make it like brighter, or you can adjust the contrast here. And it's basically like a built-in Photoshop, which is actually really cool, right? But let's go ahead and add in some more elements. So add elements. Here we have a text editor, right? And one more, let's throw in a quick little button here on the bottom. All right, so that's how we can quickly sort of drag and drop elements to build sections on the websites. Now, let's say, for example, you want to add like a background to this, right? You'll see here that this flex box is controlling this specific section, and this box is controlling this section. Now, this pink dot up here, this is actually controlling the entire section, right? So it's controlling both of these boxes, and that's how you would add a big background to your, to your background. But really quick, let me just show you all what I'm talking about here. Here, click on Edit Container, and I'll click on Style. Here we have background type. I'll just throw in a color, right? So I'll just add in a subtle gray. So you see here how I'm only adding a color around this specific box, right? Now, if I want to add a background around the entire section, here I'll click on the 6 dots. Now this section is controlling the entire container, right? So under the Style tab, for the classic, we can add in maybe like a red background or something. And then you'll see that this influences the entire background. Now, of course, it doesn't influence this section because we've already added a gray background. If you want to disable that, you'll just click on the Flexbox again. And then for the color, you can just make it transparent, right? And then you'll see it just picks up from the other, from this control here, right? So let's say, for instance, you want to go ahead and create a new section over here. Now, just like we can duplicate elements, you can also duplicate columns and also full-blown rows. So for example, here under the edit container, I'll right click, and I can also duplicate this section here. And I can do the same thing again and duplicate it. And I'll right click on this column and I'll delete it, right? Now you can also duplicate full-on sections as well. So we actually duplicated these columns, but here under the 6 dots, if I right click, we can also duplicate this entire section. So now you'll see that we have that entire section here as well, right? Now, if you ever want to add a section in between these sections, here you'll see this plus, and this is where you can actually, create a whole new section. So whenever you see this plus right here, that's how you can actually add a new section in between sections. Make sense? Okay, let's go ahead and delete this now. Now let's say, for instance, you want to add some padding up here. So you can see how it's kind of close to the top. Here, click on the 6 dots and go to the advanced section, and this is where padding comes into play. Now really quick, here's a quick preview of our website right now. But let's say, for example, you want to add some padding up here and also some padding here at the bottom. First, I'm going to go ahead and change this background color. It's pretty hideous. I think the soft gray is much better. There we go. Okay, I'm kind of a design freak, so obviously that looked terrible. Here under the advanced, we can add in padding, right? Now, I'll unlink this values together, and up here, you'll see that we can add in padding to the top, right? So it's creating space, and we can do the same thing here at the bottom. I'll add in some padding here at the bottom as well. You can also do this for the left and right side. So for example, if you want to add in padding to the left, you can do that, and also padding to the right side as well. Okay, so that's how padding works in a nutshell. Margin is a little bit more advanced, and we'll probably talk about this a little bit later when we talk about gallery images. So that is basically how you can use this page builder to create sections and how to drag and drop elements onto the page. But let's go ahead now and delete these sections. So right here, I'll click on delete, and up here, I'll also click on delete. So next, let's talk about the flex box. So the flex box at first can be a little intimidating, but after I walk you through it, you'll probably understand it pretty quickly. Here, click on add a new container, and I'll click on flex box. Here, I'll just go ahead and select this down arrow. Okay, now what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna throw in some images. Now you don't have to follow me here, so I'm gonna go ahead and put an image. And then we have this picture of this green vase. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add in another image. So up here, plus new widget, I'll throw in another image. And I'm gonna add in 4 images here. Okay, so I went ahead and added 4 images, right? And you'll see that these are all stacked on top of each other. Now we can use the flex box here to manipulate these elements. So here I'll click on the 6 dots, and then you're gonna see direction. So we did actually select the down arrow, right? Now let's say, for example, I wanna make these horizontal. It's gonna take all the elements and it's gonna make them horizontal from one another. So now you'll see that these are all horizontal. We can always go ahead and reverse this as well. So now they're reversed. Or I can put column reversed, which puts the pink one at the top. But if I want it vertical, you'll see it switches, right? So you can use the flex box here to manipulate the elements inside of the actual section. Now you can also justify content, and you can also align the elements. If you want to add in gaps, you'll see that we can go ahead and slowly add in gaps, right? Here we go, throw in some gaps. Now you can also align the items. So let's say, these are all at the top. You can put start, center, or end, right? So you can actually position these elements as well inside of the flex box. So let me give you a real life case on how to actually use the flex box when building a landing page. I'm gonna go ahead and close this, and now let's create a full-blown landing page. So here I'll click on the plus, the flex box, and what I'm gonna do here is select the down arrow, right? And what I wanna do is I actually wanna recreate the home page 3 really quick. So I want to create this, and we actually use the flex box here. So I'll quickly show you how to create this using the flex box. Let's go over here. So the first thing I want to do is just throw in some text, right? Text. And this can be like, welcome to portfolio. Okay. And below that, I will throw in a heading text, right? And this is welcome to your new website. Below that, we'll throw in another heading text, another text editor, and then I'll throw in a divider. A divider just, it adds a little bit of style and decor. So it's just like a line, and you can actually control the alignment here. We can go ahead and, control that alignment, right? All right, and now we're gonna add in another container. So we'll add in another container, okay? And now we're gonna add in 2 buttons. So you'll see over here that there's 2 buttons, right? And this is really where the Flexbox shines, and this is really why you should use it. So let's say, for example, I wanna throw in 2 buttons, right? If you're building your website, you're gonna notice that if you wanna drag in another button, you'll see how it's just stacked on top of each other, and there's really no way on how to, influence this. So over here under the container, you can actually influence these using the Flexbox. So right here, we can change this to horizontal. And then you can also justify the content. You can change like the actual space between them, right? Now the align items won't work because there's no space for it to go. So, these controls won't really work in this situation, but the justify content does, right? So I want to put this like in the center. Now I also want to control these elements here because as you can see, it's all skewed to the left. So I'll use the Flexbox for this entire section. But really quick, here under the minimum height, I do want to make this larger, right? So I want this full width. Now to create a full width landing page, you need to use 100 VH. So we're going to click on VH and type in 100. This will essentially create a full width landing page, right? And I'll quickly add an image here just so that we can feel like this is a real website. So here under the classic, I'll throw in an image and I'll go ahead and select this one here. This is the one that we were using on the other demo. I'll click on select. Okay, now you might not be able to see this text, so you can always change the text to white by clicking on style and change the color to white, right? Same thing, style, color, white, and the same thing, style, color, and white. You can do the same thing for this divider as well, just so that we can see what we're working with, right? Wait, hold on. There it goes. Okay. So now let's use the flex box here to control these elements, because you can see it's kind of skewed, right? Under the 6 dots, under layouts, you'll see that we have this directional, right? So now they're all vertical, and we can actually justify the content. So now I want it in the center, right? And now that we put it in the center, we can also change the alignment. So here I'll also put center as well. So you can see here how you can actually manipulate these elements within inside the container. Now, if you see this divider, this is only because it's not going to the center, just because on the content section, it actually has independent controls. Some elements do have independent controls, so you'll have to just go ahead and adjust it. But you can use the flex box here to just, totally go ahead and adjust the website to, fit whatever kind of style you're trying to approach. So that's where the flex box really comes into play and how you can use it to build websites with ease. Now, obviously, this does not look just like our demo over here, and that's just because I changed the text and I made the buttons bigger, I changed the color. So all this really does need is just some design influence, and after you design it, you can make it look exactly like our homepage 3. So next, let's talk about the actual grid. Let's go ahead and scroll down here, and I did mention that there's also grid. So here I'll click on grid, and you're gonna see that you can pick a specific structure. This is actually pretty helpful when it comes to portfolios. So let's click on the 6 squares right here, and then you'll see that you can add 6 different elements in each single box. Now, the weird part about this is you have to add in the first one, and after you add in the first one, then you can add in the second one. I'm not really sure why it's like that, but that's just how it is. You can also use the flex box here as well. So if you want to actually use a flex box for every single element, you can also do that. And I do recommend doing that because that does give you more control, because then you can actually use these controls here to style the box. But let me just go ahead and walk you through this. So here you'll throw in an image. After you put in an image, you will then see you can add in another image here. So what I'll do here is I'll swap an image. Then we'll also use an image one over here, right? And then I'll throw in another image model over here. Okay, and after I do that, you'll see we could add another one. So I'll go ahead and add in 3 more. Okay, so we added in these 6 images here. Now, what's really cool with the grid is here, click on these 6 dots, and you can actually customize how these look in this grid. So for example, if you want to adjust the width here, you can go ahead and adjust the width of this grid, right? Here you can change the min height, so you can make it tall or shorter. Now here you can actually adjust the columns. So if you want to add in more columns, you can go ahead and add in more, or you can add in more rows, right? So you can add in another row right here, 3 more rows, right? Now you can also adjust the gaps. So let's say, for example, you don't want any gaps. Here I'll press 0, and now you'll see that this looks like these are like close together, right? Now this one is not, and that's just because we're using the flex box. And this is where I wanted to sort of give you some ideas. So these ones are using the grid. However, this one's using the flex box, so it actually has more controls now. So here you can see you can adjust this one. You can change this min height, right? And you can, influence this box right here without influencing the other elements. So that's just an idea if you do decide to go that route. Now, another cool idea that you can do is here in a container layout, you can also change this to grid. So now you can introduce more images here in case you want to go for some sort of portfolio collage, or you want to try to get more creative. Here you can throw in some more images here to really get creative and showcase your portfolio. And the end result here, you'll see that we have this really cool image collage where we have these small images, and then we have these larger projects here representing more important projects. Now you can always go ahead and also influence these elements. So if we scroll down, you'll see you can align these as well. So you can change the alignments, and all these controls here will adjust all the columns within inside this grid. So that's just an idea of if you want to sort of mix and match the grid with the flex box. If you don't want to, no problem. Here I'll right click and I'll delete this one. And we can just add in another image here and just follow this kind of style we got going, right? And then we're brought back to this basic portfolio using all of the grid elements. Now, if you do want to actually design this white outer space, just remember here on the 6 dots, you can also control the style here. So if you want to add a background border around this, you'll see that now we have these, border around it. If you don't want a border at all you got to do is over here under padding, just put 0 padding, and that'll get rid of any of the space that is around your images. If you do like the border, you can always design it using the style options here to sort of create a style that works best for your website. So I hope this did teach you a little bit more about Elementor. Now, one thing to note here is if you ever want to link a portfolio to like another page, you can click on any image and then under link, all you got to do is put in custom URL. And let's say, for example, you want to link this to like your portfolio page, right? So portfolio. Here you'll see that you can actually link them to a specific page, and you can create that entire page from scratch, and I'll walk you through on how to do that in just a little bit. But that's how you can actually go ahead and put a link. So if someone clicks on this, it'll then take them to a page that you can fully design and customize. So again, I hope this was helpful, and this was a quick overview on how to use the Elementor page builder. But for now, let's go ahead and just click on publish, and we're not gonna add this to the menu, but we'll just save it for later. So to exit out of this here, I'll click on view page. And this is now our new practice page. And you'll see that here is our portfolio. And notice here, I can't click on these, but if I click on this one here, it's actually gonna redirect me to this portfolio page. Or of course, you can design this using the Elementor page builder. But now let's go ahead and go back to our home page. All right, so now that we have an idea of how to use Elementor, now let's go through the home page. So at the top, I'll click on edit with Elementor. Okay, so now let's go ahead and design this homepage a little bit. Now here you'll see that we have these two containers. Now we're gonna use the navigator because obviously you'll see that we can't really click on the plus new at the top because the menu is actually blocking it. So if that ever happens, over here under structure, this is where you can start clicking on elements, right? So here we have the main hero section, and if I click on the arrow and click on the container, now you'll see that we can click on the containers. So this one right here is referring to this one. This one is in the middle, and this container over here is the one on the left, right? Now you can always go ahead and just right click on something and click on edit container, and that's how you can also design elements. So what we did here was we didn't use an image module, we actually just put it as a background. So here under style, you'll see that here's the image. And if you ever want to replace it, all you got to do is just go ahead and swap an image. And then you'll see that image is right there. Now here under the controls, if you don't want it to repeat like that, here I put no repeats. And then for the display size, I do like cover, and that actually forces the image to cover. So you can see here how you can just simply go ahead and replace the images. Now, if I hover over this, you're gonna see it's using that old image. So just make sure to do the same thing for the other one. Now, you can also use any image you want, but I just like it consistent. So over here as well, I'm gonna put cover, and that'll make it so when I hover over it, you'll see that it has no difference. Now for this one as well, we can click on edit container, and you can always go ahead and adjust the style of things. So don't feel like this is limited. You can go ahead and fully design this any which way you want. But here under the style, I can go ahead and maybe put the Q over here. And then you'll see that now we have this sort of style where, it does look really clean, right? As you can tell, the layout looks really good regardless of how you add in images. So we didn't really use image modules, we just added them as backgrounds. So there's really no right or wrong way to design your website using Elementor. Now really quickly, so here for the navigator, I do want to show you something really quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and collapse that. If you actually want to rearrange sections, you can actually do this from the navigator. So for example, if I want to take the about section, which is this section here, and put it above the hero, I can click on this and drag it above the hero section. Here, try that one more time. There we go. And then you'll see the About Us section here is above the hero. And if you want, you can add in a new section here where you can go ahead and add in more to your websites. But I do want to take the About section and I want to put it back where it's supposed to be. Okay, so now the About section is below that, right? So you can use the navigator if you're having trouble, and you can always right click on things and edit them right here, just in case maybe it's hard to actually click on things visually with the actual editor, right? So now that we know how to use the flex box, here click on these 6 dots. Now you're gonna see direction. So these are horizontal, right? But if I click on vertical, you'll now see these elements are vertical, right? Now you're understanding how everything's come into play, right? But I do like the direction of this. And you can always rearrange the alignment of the elements. So you can make this centered, end, start, or stretch, right? And you can go ahead and fiddle with these options. You can add in more padding if you want, or gap, or you can, go ahead and just customize this to your liking. I'm gonna go ahead and close the navigator just because it feels really tight. I do like this better. Now for these portfolios, this actually was a little difficult to create. So if you don't know how to do it, no problem. Here in the 6 dots, we actually used the flex box here as well. So we added an image right here, an image right here, and another one right here. And we actually just used the flex box here. So we just changed the direction. So it's like that, right? So to understand how we made these, if I click on these elements, you're gonna see that these are just text elements, right? So this is just a header text and a header text. And the flex box, we actually just used it here and positioned it here at the end. You can also do center or the starts or space between. And you can see here how the flex box really makes things a lot simpler, right? Now to change this image, here I'll click on the container under the style. Here I'll go ahead and just change this image here really quick. Okay, so now we have this section. Now what's also really cool is you can actually add a background overlay to your projects. So if you want to add in like a subtle color over here, you can see you can add in like a subtle color, right? So you can make it darker like that. You can also use CSS filters like we talked about, where you can change the brightness, you can change the contrast, the hue, and also the saturation as well. So you can go ahead and go through these and mess around with it to your liking. Here we have border. So if you want to add in like a solid border or like a dotted border, here I'll go ahead and put in a border of maybe like, 10 pixels, and then you'll see it's dotted, right? You can also change it to like dashed or doubled, or something like that. Oh, I do like this. Ooh, that's actually really nice. It's like a frame almost, as you can tell, right? And then you can also add a border radius. This essentially just makes it more circular. So you'll see the edges are more circular now, right? Now, lastly, you can always add a shape divider. Shape dividers are also really cool as well. So I'm gonna quickly get rid of the border and show you all the shape divider. The shape divider will add something at the top and also at the bottom of the section. So you'll see here now there's that little like, I guess it's like goo, right? But there are tons of different styles here. So we have, tilts, we have wave pattern, we have waves, right? And if you want to increase this, here you can see you can adjust the width, right? And then you can also adjust the height of it as well. And you can also flip it, you can invert it, and mess around with all these options. Now you can also do this for the bottom. So I'm gonna go over here to drops again, and then for the bottom, you can also do the same thing, where you can add in drops there at the bottom, just in case you wanna get really creative. Now, if I hover over this, you're gonna see that image still displays. And just remember, to get out of that, all you gotta do here is go to the style section and hover. You can just delete that, and when someone hovers over it, it'll just be the main image as before, okay? So that is just a quick way on how to really make your portfolio as creative as possible, right? All right, party people, in this part of the video, I'll be walking you through how to create a really creative portfolio page. Now, we're first gonna start with the very bare basics, such as showing you how to link, images on the front page to your portfolio. And then as I teach you more, I'm gonna show you very creative ways on how to portray your portfolio. Some of these ways include like image carousels and other ways on how to present your portfolio. Now, I'm also gonna talk about Elementor Pro. Now, Elementor Pro does have it's like a pro element for presenting your portfolio. I'm personally 50-50 on it, but I'll just walk you through and show you this anyways. However, we're also going to install a free plugin that will allow you to create a filterable portfolio for your websites. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump back to the video. And now let's talk about how to actually create a portfolio page. So over here, I'll go to view page. So earlier I mentioned you can click on any of these portfolios and use these as a template. So for example, this is our portfolio gallery. So let me turn on the page builder. Okay, so let's imagine that this page is actually going to reflect this green tea project, right? So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and change this to like green tea, right? Green tea project. And over here, you'll see that we actually have a portfolio. So here we added in a bunch of images for this container, but I'm gonna go ahead and clear this gallery. And here under the slideshow, I'm gonna change this to classic. So I just want one image. But if you want a barrage of images, you can always use this right here, and you can add as many images as you would like. So just to start from scratch, I'll add an image here, and I'm gonna throw in the green tea, right? And click on Insert Gallery. And then I'll add in one more, right? So when users actually click on this green tea project, they're gonna see that we have this one image, and then we have this second one right here. And you can actually go ahead and control like the Ken's burn effect. If you don't like that Ken's burn effect, you can turn it off, or you can go ahead and turn it on. So after we import the image, you can go down here and talk about the actual project. So this is our green tea project that we use to make our websites, right? And these are just an icon list. So for example, Lush Garden, here I'll put like awards, we won, right? And then you can go through each one and adjust them one by one. And feel free to add in your own elements here as well. So for example, I'll throw in a container here, and then I can just throw in like a button, right? So I'll put a button, and then this can be like, you know, go to our competitor, or go to our partner's website. And then obviously under the style, you can go ahead and position this to different ways, right? I do like that one. That looks pretty clean, actually. I do like that. And then obviously for the content, you can link them to any website you would like. Okay. And scrolling down, you'll see that you can go ahead and readjust these images. So all you got to do is click on the flex box here, and for the style. And of course, you'll just readjust these to any image you'd like. You can also change this as a slideshow. I feel like that actually would be pretty cool. So here, I'll go ahead and walk you through this. So I'm gonna add a slideshow here. I'm gonna put 1000 ms. That means it's gonna change every second. So you'll see in the middle how this changes like that. If you wanna, you know, slow that down, we'll put in something like 3000. And then you'll see it change. And a good idea here is maybe change all of these here to something like a portfolio, right? So you get really creative. So let me walk you through what that looks like. So after I add in the portfolio slideshow for every background, you'll see that the images constantly shift on their own, which is a really cool way on how to portray your projects really quickly to your audience, right? So you can always go ahead and go that route. Scrolling down here, you can do the same thing here as well. You can get creative, you can knock yourself out. You can even add in 3 different videos for each background if you want to go that route as well. And then here we have our call to action footer at the bottom. If you don't want this, you can always just get rid of it by clicking on X. But I do feel like this is cool because after they see that, they can click on get in touch, and you might want to link them to your contact us page. So here I'll put contact, and voila. All right, so that is a way on how you can design this page. Now, after you actually create this specific page, you can actually link this on your home page. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna view the page, and I'll copy this, and then we're gonna go over to our home page, and then I'm gonna insert that link for this specific image. And after we copy that link, I'll go ahead and click on the container. I'll scroll to the bottom, and under additional options, under the HTML tag, I'll just add a link here, and then I will put in that link right there. And then I'll click on publish. So scrolling down here, if the user decides to click on this image or the button, it'll actually take them to that project page where you can actually completely design this page from scratch using the Elementor page builder. So I do like this route. I feel like this gives you no restrictions on how to build a beautiful custom project page, and you can add in as much as you want, and feel free to fully, build this page any which way you want for your portfolios. Okay, so the last portfolio that we're gonna create is I'm gonna walk you through how to actually create a filterable gallery right here, and also how to adjust this collapsed section if you wanna go that route. And I'll also show you how to achieve this, where if a user scrolls right here, they can view all of your projects. So let's go ahead and go back to our website. Now, the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to install a free plugin. So under the dashboard section, under plugins, let's click on add new plugin. And for search plugins, we're gonna type in, and then we'll type in Elementor Portfolio. We're gonna scroll down and we're going to install this free plugin right here. It is the portfolio for Elementor. So go ahead and click on install now, and then click on activate. Here I'll click on skip. Now let's go ahead and go back to our websites. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and select one of our portfolio pages. So I'll work with Portfolio Creative. And now I wanna use the page builder. So up here, I'll click on edit with Elementor. Now I'm gonna get rid of this section. So I'm gonna right click and delete this, and we're gonna start from scratch here. So I'm gonna right click, delete, 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 and delete, delete. Okay, so here we have this new section. Now we installed a plugin that gave us another element. We're gonna scroll down and we're gonna keep scrolling, and you're gonna see this right here that says Portfolio Power-Ups for Elementor. This is a way on how you can create a a filterable gallery. So here under image gallery, I'll take this. Now it looks like this because we have the flex box on. So to fix that, click on the flex box and I'll just turn that off. Okay. So to customize this section, here click on the pencil icon and here we have title 1. So this will be like art project, right? Art project. And for the category, we're going to create a category called art. And here you can add an image that represents art. So I'll select this one here. Okay. Then I'll go to the second one. And here I'll put juice project. And then for this tag, we'll use juice as well. And then I'll just choose an image and I'll select, we'll select this one here. Okay. So now you'll see that we have this one here and we also have this one as well. And we can add in more, right? So I'll add in one more, add an item, and this will be art project. And for the tag, I actually want to use this one here. I want to use art. So I'm actually adding this in the category. And then I'll click on choose an image, and then I'll just throw in this one right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and exit out of this. So I'll click on publish, and then I'll click on preview changes. So this is how you can create a portfolioable gallery. Here, if I click on art, you'll see only the images under the art section will display. If I click on juice, then only the juice project will display. So you can use that plugin if you want to create a filterable gallery for your project page. Okay. Let's go ahead and go to the next gallery here. So we'll go ahead and scroll down and I'm going to add a new section here. So Flexbox, and I'll click on the plus, and I believe I used the accordion, right? The accordion. So what the accordion does is you can actually build a project here. So for example, item 1, you can change this to like Tesla project. And if someone clicks on this, and then after you click on the Tesla project, you can now see that you can build an entire section within the Tesla project. Now in my demo, all I really did here was I just copied and pasted a container. So for example, I'll just go ahead and duplicate this whole container. And just to speed this up, I don't want to rebuild this. I just took this and I just dragged it inside. So now you'll see that we have all of that work done already for us. And if someone were to actually click on the Tesla project now, they're now going to see this entire section that we built in a matter of seconds. So you can always go ahead and copy and paste, the style of your websites, and then you can go ahead and add in the same thing here for item number 2. So that is another way on how to portray your projects. Next, let's talk about Elementor's default widgets. So right here, I'll click on the plus icon and click on the plus under the flex box. I will now use the down arrow. So under the general section, Elementor does have free elements you can use. You can use their basic gallery. And what this will do here is this will actually showcase images inside of this gallery. So I'll go ahead and upload some images. And then you'll see the images now display in this gallery. I feel like this might be a little depreciated because now that they've introduced the grid section, you can easily accomplish this without using an element, but it's really up to you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And for the style, you can go ahead and change the spacing. So if you want to add some spacing here, you can add in some spacing. You can also throw in some border radius as well, making these a little bit more circular and so on and so forth. So that is the basic gallery widgets, just in case you want to go that route. But I'll go ahead and delete this. Now let's talk about how we achieved this section right here. Now this was done actually using AI, and I'll explain how I did this. So over here, let's go ahead and throw in another element. This is called the image carousel. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in some images, and then you'll see here that the images are now shown where users can go ahead and scroll through the images, which is really cool. Now in the pro version of Elementor, there is an option to actually generate custom CSS for every element. For the free version of Elementor, you need to upgrade to the Pro, but let me just give you a demonstration of what that can do for your websites. The Elementor AI can be very helpful. So you'll see here that we have the same thing on this website, where if you don't have the images sized perfectly, unfortunately, it might come out skewed a little bit. So here is the Elementor Pro version, and with this you can actually fix any image problems that you have, and you don't have to be a developer. So right here I'll click on Edit with AI. Now here they have suggested prompts where they can actually do something like rainbow gradients, and they can add in all sorts of really cool effects for your projects. But I want to force these images here to actually align, so I'm going to put force these images to be equal size, and I'll click on generate code. Here it gives me the code, and I'll go ahead and insert this. So now Elementor inserts that CSS, and you'll see that now all the images align properly. Now you can always take this a step further here and just add in like some other effects right here. So on hover, animate 20% bigger, right? Let's just go ahead and generate that code as well. Here I'll click on insert. And now when I hover over it, you will now see that these images all have this really cool collage effect, right? And you can keep going here. You can use the AI to your, fullest extent. I feel like the Elementor AI is really only useful for stuff like this. I'll be honest, the Elementor AI for building a website is complete garbage. It's not good at all. But when it comes to CSS, this is where they can really help people generate some really nice effects for their websites. If you do want to give the Elementor AI a try, you can just click on the AI right here, and this will actually, this will actually prompt like a section. Now, Elementor AI is available in the free version, but you do need credits. But to use the Elementor AI for Elements, you need to have the Pro version. So create me a project section for my portfolio. Use 3 columns and add a gradient overlay. Here I'll click on generate. And as you can see, it did give us 3 sections. I'll just use this layout here and click on use layout. And then Elementor created this section for us in order to build the website. So as you can see, it is cool, but it's just not accurate enough. So I don't like recommending this to my audience because I feel like it's just not worth the money if it's not going to produce what you're asking it for. And really quickly, let me talk about the last thing, which is the Elementor Pro widgets. So for those of you who do decide to upgrade to Elementor Pro, there is more widgets that you get access to. And I don't want you to go buy it. I just want you to see if this is right for you or not. So I'll go ahead and add a new section here. And for the Pro, I'll just grab in the portfolio. And then you'll see here that it actually pull your posts from your blog page. And what you can do here is you can create blog posts and then you can design those pages from scratch. I don't really see a big use for this because you can already do this using the page builder for free. So yeah, you can go that route if you want to, but I'm just showing you, what these elements do. Also, there is the gallery as well. And then I'll throw in some images for the gallery. And then it displays your images in this nice grid format. And of course, you can fully adjust it more to your liking. You can also improve the resolution of the images and so on and so forth. Elementor Pro, I do recommend to get it. For the portfolio widgets, it's not the best. If you do want to check out Elementor Pro, I'll leave a link to Elementor Pro in the description. I would personally go with the popular plan. Right now, they're having their Black Friday sale, but you're not missing out on much. I mean, they're only giving you 10% off. So this will give you access to Elementor Pro and all the features for about $100, and you can use this on 3 different websites. If you want to go with the expert plan, you can always go ahead and upgrade to expert. I personally have this because I have a lot of websites with Elementor. So if you do decide to use my link, I do make a small commission. If not, no problem. You don't really need it anyways, all right? And to save all the changes you made on this page, you'll just click on publish, and this will publish the page. Now let's go ahead and add this page to the menu. So if you want to add this page, let's go over here to exit to WordPress. Here, click on the WordPress logo. Over here under appearance, let's click on menus. At the top, we'll click on the main menu primary. Now this menu was created automatically when you imported the starter templates. And under view all, you'll see that we have a list of pages. You'll also see that we have those portfolio gallery, creative, and single. If you do want to take these off, all you got to do is just go ahead and remove it. You can also remove this custom link here as well. So you can remove this page. You can remove this one here as well. And if you want to add in that page that we created, I think it was practice, right? Or it was a portfolio or something. You can always just click on the page right here and click on add to menu. And now you'll see that page appears right here. And you can go ahead and move this page around. Now, you can always go ahead also and use any of these home pages. If you don't want the home pages, you can just remove them from the menu so you just won't find them. But I'm gonna get rid of this practice page. I just wanna put my maybe portfolio creative. So I'll just put like, our designs or something, right? You can change that. And yeah, you can go ahead and add any page you want here. So if you wanna use this one, you can just, throw this in and, add it as a drop down. Here I'll click on Save Menu. And if we visit our websites, you will now see that our menu has changed according to what we've added. So over here, I'll click on, portfolio gallery. And here is that green tea project that we were working on earlier. So that is how you can create pages and also how to add them to the menu. Now, real quick, let's touch base on the Solace theme customizer. So here at the top, let's click on customize. Now, the first thing I want to show you all is how to assign your home page. Here under core options, we'll scroll down, and here under homepage settings, if you want to select a specific homepage to be your main homepage, you'll just select it right here. So for example, if you like homepage 2, you can select homepage 2 as your homepage and click on publish. And when users visit your website, they will be brought to this page as your main homepage. So you'll see that this is our website up here, and this is now our homepage. If you ever want to change that, just go back to the theme customizer and then reassign the homepage. Now under core options, I'll click on core options and I'll go to homepage settings, and then I'll just select home as our home, and then I'll just click on publish here again. Now let's talk about the header and footer builder. Now I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this because I already have another video on Solace and you can go ahead and watch that. I'll put a link in the description, but this is really simple anyways. So here I'll click on header builder, and now you can actually create your own header from scratch. And Solace has actually created preset styles. So we have this one here. We have this one here with the logo. We have this one where we have this black bar right here. We have a search and the accounts. We also have a to button right here where we have 2 different buttons. And you can also click on any of these elements here and you can fully design it. So if you want to change this to something like white, you'll see the sign in is now white. And that does look really slick. I do really like that. And you can fully design and customize every single element with Solace. Now let's say you like one of these menus, right? Here under the elements section, you can actually add in more elements. So for example, if you want to throw in a contact, you can throw in a contact here, and then you'll see that this contact displays here. Now there's 3 different rows. You have the top row, the main row, and the bottom row. If you take an element and put it above it, it's going to create a whole new row for you where you can add in more elements, right? So for example, if you want to add in social icons here, you can add in social icons. And here I'll just throw in a YouTube, right? I'm sorry, Facebook. And then also we'll throw in like YouTube as well. You can also use padding here to create space between every element. So if they're too close, you can always go ahead and create padding for it as well. And if you want to get rid of something, you can just click on X and that'll delete the actual elements. So if we can't see the font here, it's because the font is white. So I'll change it to black and voila. Now for every section, you'll click on the gear icon and you can actually change the background color as well. So if you want this like black, you can change the black, or gradient. You can also use a gradient color as well. So if you want to use like a gradient, and you can do this for every single row. So feel free to build your header any which way you want using the Solace theme. And the same thing applies to the footer as well. So click on back. You can also build the footer here, and we actually have preset styles where you can build the footer as well. So that is the Solace theme customizer in a nutshell. I think the main thing you're going to use is a header and footer builder. So feel free to check these out on your own free time. Now, really quick, let me walk you through how to re-import a template. Now, you can actually re-import a template kit on your website. Now, if you do actually select the option to delete previous website, it will actually delete your old website and re-import a new one. So just be mindful about that. But in this part of the video, I'll walk you through how to import our other beautiful portfolio kits on your websites. Let's go. Okay, so in this part of the video, I'm gonna walk you through how to switch between different portfolio template kits. Let's first go back over here to our dashboard. And then we're gonna go down here and click on Solace. Okay, next we'll click on Start Now for starter templates. And on the right side, we'll click on the Start Now button. Okay, now over here under categories, we're gonna scroll down here and we're gonna select Portfolio. And then you're gonna see different portfolio template kits. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to switch to Pixel Flow right here. So click on Pixel Flow. And here is a small overview of Pixel Flow. You'll see that, it portrays different portfolios in a more like friendly atmosphere, as you can tell, right? Here we have our testimonials, and then we have our portfolios here at the bottom. So if you do want to switch between kits, all you need to do is go ahead and first select your color palettes. So I'll select the default one. Then here is the font style. You can go ahead and select your font style. Here, click on Delete Previously Imported Sites. So once you select Delete Previously Imported Sites, we'll then click on Continue. And then you'll choose if you want to opt in, and you can always skip this step. And just to make sure, when you do import template kits, just make sure that the image is unchecked in the hosting or options. Again, this is a temporary thing, and probably in a month or two, this will be fixed. And then right here, you'll click on skip this step. And then it's going to re-import that template kit onto your new website. And then once it's done, you'll see the import is complete. Then you'll just click on check the website. And then voila, we now have a brand new portfolio template that you can easily customize using the Elementor page builder. So that is pretty much it for this tutorial. If you are interested in more Elementor Pro templates, we actually do have a few available on my website. So this is my website, darrelwilson.com. And up here, I'll click on Elementor Templates. And here is a list of our portfolio templates. Now you can go ahead and import these using the Elementor Toolkit feature. Now, one thing to note, this is not a theme. So these are toolkits that you import with Elementor. Now you do need to have Elementor Pro in order to use these kits. The main reason is because these actually include several pages for the theme builder. So our portfolio kits are built around the Elementor Pro version. Now, if you do want to see a live demo of a portfolio, all you got to do is click on live demo. And here is a demonstration of one of our kits. This is called Snowbites, where they're portraying, different portfolios. And what's really cool about our kits is we use Elementor Pro Theme Builder. So the theme builder allows you to build custom parts of your website. So when you do get our kits, you actually get parts for the custom header, custom footer, and a variety of other pages that are not normally available in the Elementor free version. So this is more of like a minimal approach. As you can tell, it's very minimal. It's very simple. So yeah, we do have more than 400 kits available on my website. So if you do want to go ahead and purchase those kits, I will leave a link to our pro kits in the description below of this video for you to check out later. All right, party people, thank you all so much for watching this portfolio tutorial. I hope these template kits really helped. Feel free to re-import any kit that you want and see what works best for your portfolio websites. And I hope I did give you some creative ways on how to display your portfolio. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. Also, one thing I do want to address, if you guys see me sweating, I'm not nervous, okay? It's actually really humid here in Thailand. So even with my air condition on, I'm actually still sweating. It's ridiculous right now. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. And until then, I will see all of you party people in the next video. Take care.